No, that's what it's all about. And, I mentioned public funding, but at the end of the day, the bulk of our funding is philanthropic. And so I would encourage your listeners to look at an organization like Father Joe's Villages, who is effective in what it's doing, that helps those not only who are on the streets, but the community at large.
Cloudcast 180. Powerful people, powerful stories, 180 seconds.
The San Diego Union Tribune and Retirement Strategies Group present the Union Tribune Community Spotlight Show with your host, Drew Schlossberg.
I'm Drew Schlossberg of the San Diego Union Tribune, and we are back with Jessica York, Vice President of the San Diego Museum Council Board of Directors and Deputy Director and Chief Advancement Officer for the Mingei International Museum, also joined by our colleagues Laurie Egan-Hedley, Treasurer for the Museum Council Board of Directors and Executive Director and Curator for Barona Cultural Center and Museum, and then Cris Scorza, Education and Engagement Curator for the Museum of Contemporary Art San Diego on this. So why don't we spend a few minutes each, chatting about each of your respective museums, what's coming up, what can we do to support your efforts, then we'll start with you, Jessica.
Thanks so much. My favorite topic. I get to talk about Mingei. I love that.
Of course.
So Mingei International Museum, much like the Museum of Contemporary Art San Diego, is undergoing a major renovation and transformation right now, right in the heart of Balboa Park. So we're actually closed at our museum facility, reopening next year in 2021. And we're doing some really exciting stuff there. When we reopen, we're going to have a plaza level that is always free of charge and open to the public. It's going to be a new living room in the heart of Balboa Park. In the meantime, we're staying busy. We are out there.
You are out there.
We are. We're doing tons of different programs and workshops and exhibitions. We're popping up all over the county. You can find us in local libraries one Sunday a month for our Family Sunday program. Workshops happening, hands-on art-making workshops in different venues all over the region, and pop-up exhibitions. We're actually partnering with Chris's team to do a pop-up exhibition later this year of student work. And prior to that, we're going to be putting up an exhibition in the Coronado Library, which we're really excited about. And
so what's a pop-up exhibition? I mean, literally like it sounds?
It just pops up. You never know where they're going to show up.
It's our youth exhibition. So we put out a call for high school teachers and students 25 and under to submit artwork. There's going to be 25 works in the area of craft and design and 25 works in the area of contemporary art. They're going to be selected by 6 jurors in our community. So 50 artworks by 2 institutions will be on view from June through September. So the youngest of our artists gets celebrated through the summer at the Museum of Contemporary Art in a great partnership with Mingei and the team.
It's so special for the students because they get a chance to see their work on view in a museum. And, the work of one museum is powerful, but when we join together, like we do for Museum Month or partnerships like this, it's even better.
Right.
So
exactly.
We're excited.
So, I mean, for you folks, are you always looking for volunteers? Are you looking for sponsors? Are you looking for donations?
Yes,
all of the above?
Yes and yes. Yeah. Right now, we're so focused on our renovation, and we're looking for people to get excited and get involved, particularly with financial support and helping us realize that vision. We have a lot of money to raise to make a capital project like that happen, and people can see really gorgeous renderings and get excited about what's to come by visiting mingei.org.
Right.
And as we ramp up to reopen to the public, we will be looking for volunteers, new members, people who want to be part of something dynamic and exciting as we relaunch.
No, that's very, very exciting over here. All right, Laurie, what can we do to support you folks in Barona?
Well, we want you to come visit. So our main goal, our outward-facing goal for our public audience is education. So we travel all across the county. We realize that our site location is difficult to get to. Buses might not come up. Schools, buses are expensive.
Right.
We will come to you. Any age, all groups, anybody looking to learn, we come to you, and it's totally free. Barona Band gratefully gives back to the community, and everything we do and offer is free for education. So our outreach program is totally free. We are working on a gallery redo, similar to a lot of museums that go through this, and we're working on the people's creation story. And if you think about the waves of assimilation and the history that's happened here in San Diego, their culture was made to be foreign to them. So we're looking for support in creating this creation story exhibition. And when people visit, we ask that they remove their Western sense, their Western lenses, and experience another way of knowing, another culture, another way of knowing about your world. Our inward focus with the Barona tribal members is language preservation. Again, through these waves of assimilation, language has been lost. It's an endangered language, and we're working very hard to preserve it.
And we all know how important it is to pass on those legacies. And, one of the things that, and we talk about on the show quite a bit when we have our friends from serving seniors or any of the senior groups and all that, is how the Native American culture just absolutely reveres their elders, unlike a lot of other, folks, which is just beyond me and all that aspect of it. How important is that in what you folks are doing and how to communicate that?
Well, it's very important. There's a Circle of Elders group on the reservation, and they are always looking for ways to support the youth, and they're very involved at the museum. They sit on our advisory committee, and we look to the elders for information. We don't do anything without the elders.
Right. Well, I mean, and whether it's in the Native American culture, or pick a topic in any culture for that method, it's amazing when they're discounted. The seniors have so much information and street cred, what they've done, and we need to learn about what the Native American culture does is they listen, they participate, they embrace it on this. I think we can do a much better job across, this country in that aspect of it. What's the website so people can support your efforts?
Thank you. It's www.baronamuseum.org.
Okay, very, very good. All right, Cris, talk about what's going on in the Museum of Contemporary Art San Diego. You talked about the partnership with the Mingei. What else is going on?
So one thing that happens every month is Downtown at Sundown, and it's an activation of the museum, but also some of our additional partners, the San Diego State Art Gallery down the road on Kettner and Broadway. And this month, on February 20th, we're going to be open for free from 5 to 8 p.m. With lots of activity. We're going to have a book reading in our Nancy Lupo Scripts for the Pageant exhibition. We're going to have several tours, conversations with scientist Jessica Block, who's going to be talking about wildfires in relationship to the exhibition, Oscar Romo, Recover Stream. And we're going to also partner with Seaper Village. So one thing we're offering this month is going to be Fred. The free ride access is going to shuttle people from MCA to Seaper Village and back. Nice. So that for that evening of February 20th, you're enjoying downtown in ways in which you haven't. So those are some of the things that happen with us every month. And then as our La Jolla campus is closed, we also pop up everywhere. And one of the things we do is a family art lab. And we're going to have family art lab at Earthy Seed Bombs at the UTC Mall. We are great partners of Westfield UTC, and that's where we take our family programming kind of off-site and sort of activating everywhere in our community. And as Jessica said, we're also in the business of fundraising for our expansion, and we're happy to have people look at what we're doing and get involved. Naming opportunities are still available. Supporting education programs is our thing that we do year-round. So just even visiting museums, we need you. We are here for you, and we want you to walk through our doors.
And what's the website?
Our website is www.mcasd.org.
And you bring up a great point. We're chatting with Cris Scorza. She's the Education Engagement Curator for the Museum of Contemporary Art San Diego, joined by Laurie Egan-Hedley, treasurer for the San Diego Museum Council Board of Directors and executive director of the curator for Barona Cultural Center and Museum, and Jessica York, vice president of the Council Board of Directors and deputy director and chief advancement officer for Mingei International Museum. You bring up a very good point that we chat about in our world. You want to make sure people love to go to museums. Because if they're not museum goers, it doesn't benefit all of you. So we don't care what museum you go to a museum, because eventually you're going to find it down to ours if you love to go to museums. I mean, that sounds like an obvious statement, but I think a lot of people miss that. aspect of it. Same thing in our field. We want people to be voracious newspaper readers, whether it's online or in print. I'd rather have you read the New York Times or the L.A. Times, which are our sister paper now, than nothing at all, because eventually we're going to have you come down to here. Jessica, got about 40 seconds to go. Shout out one more time about San Diego Museum.
Absolutely. We're in the thick of it. It's happening throughout all of February. You can go to SanDiegoMuseumCouncil.org to learn where to pick up your printed Museum Month Pass, which will get you 50% off your admission for up to 4 people at over 40 different cultural destinations, museums all over the county. This is a great time to explore, try something new. Your pass can get you into more than one place, and we know people love this program, so we'd love to see some more support for it. And as you said, go to any museum. We just want people to love museums.
Well, Jessica and Laurie and Cris, thank you so much for giving up some from time to be on the show here. We will send you out the link to send to your legions of folks, and let's plan on having you folks come back in sometime later in the year. We'll find out what's going on to your museums.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'm Drew Schlossberg, and you've been listening to another edition of the Spotlight Show here on Cloudcast Media Radio, brought to you by Retirement Strategies Group. Retirement made simple, folks.
Thank you for listening to a podcast from Cloudcast Media, the digital media home for leading local brands. When it comes to amplifying your brand, a Cloudcast-sponsored show offers unbeatable value. Learn more at cloudcast.us.
Cloudcast 180. Powerful people, powerful stories, 180 seconds.
Welcome to Cloudcast 180, the 3-minute lightning round with changemakers here in San Diego. We're here with Ed Heiner, 20-year Navy SEAL, best-selling author, and education entrepreneur. Ed, welcome to the Cloudcast 180.
Thanks for having me.
Your book was called First Fast Fearless, so let's hit this fast and fearlessly. Real quick, you created a program to help change lives of high school students around the country. It's called Sealpreneurship. Tell our audience what it's all about.
Well, it's about leading yourself. Getting a PhD in me, I teach kids how to take care of themselves and lead themselves first, and how to be their own entrepreneur, intrapreneur, if you will.
Is it something you think public education is lacking, this concept of self-leadership?
Absolutely. It's a mindset that kids don't get. My son doesn't get it in his school. The kids don't get it. It's something that, we're educating them, but to be mentally tough and be able to take charge of themselves and accountable for themselves is very unique.
Okay. I've seen an overview of your curriculum, 23 evolutions, and you have a 23-minute podcast series. So what's up with 23?
Chromosomes, right? It's all in all of us. We're all the same. 99.9% of everybody in this world is the same. And we use those chromosomes, 23 pairs, which is one of the concepts we teach as swim buddies, never be alone. Mm-hmm. Always work with someone else, collaborate, and be out there.
Boy, that's a lesson for life for sure. Ed, you were in charge of basic and advanced training for the U.S. Navy SEALs, and I mentioned you're a 20-year SEAL. Tell our audience the greatest lesson from the SEALs that have changed you forever.
Probably in the back of a helicopter one night in Iraq before I was getting ready to fly into an Al-Qaeda target, it dawned on me that when a pilot said, you have this many souls on board, it dawned on me that the opposite of fear is love. It's not else. I don't fight for what I hate in front of me. I fight for what's beside me and behind me that I love.
Wow, it's a powerful concept. Wow. You've talked a lot about the blue-collar scholar as a concept. Fascinating. Tell our audience, what is the blue-collar scholar as it relates to your Sealpreneurship program?
It's a mental concept where people take control. Don't outsource their life. Look, we're going to have people that are in white coats, suits and ties, doctors, PhDs. That's fine. Listen to that and learn your information from them. But eventually, you got to be that mechanic in your own life. You got to turn the wrench. This is happening. So basically, take control of your own life. Use what you can use from other people. Discard it, what you can't, and make that your own. Leadership is something that you do. It's you do with people, not to them. And one of the best forms of leadership I learned in the back of that helicopter is called MOM.
Ed,
focus on mission, others, and me.
Mission, others, me. Ed, thank you for being here. This has been the Cloudcast 180. We hit it fast and fearlessly. We're out.
Cloudcast 180. Powerful people, powerful stories, 180 seconds.